If you're trying to get the sparks flying in the game room, haven't seen them in a long time, haven't felt that connection, it's been tough. You're playing all these games, you're looking over at them, but they're just not doing it for you, you know? It's going through the motions. You want to get some sparks flying? All right, guys, let's do it.
Parvinator.
The Parvinator.
All right, this one is the big feature story tonight. Not so much a news story as much as it is something I saw in the news that inspired me and had me thinking of a conversation that many of us have had around here. On this channel, I think we've seen it on Reddit. It's just out there, right? Gamers who are thinking, nothing really does it for me anymore. Yeah. Saw this a couple days ago on Reddit. I wanted to work on a story and I couldn't quite get it done, so I just sort of sat on this one for a couple days to keep working it. Fatality. Yeah, I want to have a conversation with you guys about gamer burnout, what it means, what it can feel like, and how you get through those feelings of having a library that you're not interested in playing. Maybe you're thinking about the money that's been spent. You're having regrets there. You're not motivated. You just can't get up and play these games. Maybe when you do, it's not right. You know, something's not right. What can you do? Is it you? Are you depressed? Are you sick? Is it the games? Has the industry moved past you? Is it all of the above?
Whack.
Slow it down for a second. I want to talk some ways that we can kind of reconnect with the inner gamer, okay? That we can fall in love, you know, reignite that flame of what video games mean to us on a personal level, right? I know it's what binds us all together here. You know, talk about the Force, Star Wars in the last segment, right? A love for video games, right? Binds us all together, penetrates us. But get personal with it for a bit, all right? Get vulnerable, get personal with me, if you will, for just a bit.
All we had to do.
All right, I'm vulnerable. I'm feeling vulnerable on this one, you know? You can probably see it. You can probably hear it. But let's do this, okay? Nothing really does it for me anymore, right? OP said, not like it used to anyway. I'll be 40 this year. Not sure if it's a symptom of just getting older or what, but I just can't seem to find any game that holds my attention. Most of the time I end up scrolling my Steam library and just staring at games I've yet to finish and just think, I could play that one, nah, or that one, nah. And I might boot up something for 10 minutes, then just quit because I'm bored. Anyone else have this problem?
Fatality.
Stuff. As you can imagine, there was pretty, you know, the Reddit was with them. A lot of folks were feeling the same thing. Of course, a lot of folks had advice. We're going to have our own advice tonight. You know, nothing wrong with that. I think that they're sort of reaching out for that, reaching out for help in this case. One person said, I also had this problem. I just call it depression. And there were a lot of people agreeing with that. That one kind of got, got to some dark places too. That was a tough conversation, including someone saying, everyone tells me it's depression, but I like to tell myself that the world really truly sucks, and we are the so-called depressed, and we that are the so-called depressed are the ones that can see the world without the rose-tinted glasses and see it for what it truly is. All right. They go on to say, but since it's impossible to either change it yourself or convince people to take off the glasses and help with making a change, I keep on clicking monsters to death on my computer and hope that my brain will one day stop caring so much. But I always grow tired of seeing the same monsters die over and over, and my list of games keeps growing, but nothing is fun. Yeah. A lot of people chimed in like, yeah, that is definitely, that's depression, you know, like that's tough, right? I think you guys have, maybe you've been there before, you know, and that's for, I think, for those who are maybe hung up on a couple games and you're really not digging it, you know. Some people are having trouble starting a game. you know, other people, maybe the gaming's not working for them right now. They're not enjoying it and they're totally burned out. And maybe there's a couple games that they just can't, you know, can't break away from. And it's not working. So, all right. Yeah, that was the tough one there. I agree with this one. I'll just sum this one up quickly. This user here was saying that, you know, it kind of comes down to having a physical thing, something right there that you can grab quickly, put into a console, and bam, you're in. No need for an update, okay? You don't need to calibrate a controller. You know, you put it in your console, it's good to go. That's the benefit of retro gaming. I'm always preaching that. I do it all the time. I will take this one opportunity to say, of course, not everybody has that luxury. We want to make that possible for them, you know, do everything we can in our power to spread retro games everywhere. But well, what do you do, right? I agree with this. I'm with them on it, you know. Having that console, physical media, plug and play really quickly, that does help. That's not always a luxury. We'll get into that later, but that's one of the ways you can quickly get into something. But getting into it quickly has its own risks too. And we'll talk about that as we get into this. All right, let's do it, guys. Come on, this needs to loop. I want my fire. My flame has been extinguished. Give me just 1 second. Oh, good God. Keep the flame rolling, please. There it is. All right. Ooh, okay. Yeah. I had to put a little gas on it, baby. All right. Look, let's talk about it, guys. You're looking to ignite the flame of passion, right? Your hobby that's meant so much to you, okay? If you're trying to get the sparks flying in the game room, haven't seen them in a long time, haven't felt that connection, it's been tough. You're playing all these games, you're looking over at them, but they're just not doing it for you, you know? It's going through the motions. You want to get some sparks flying? All right, guys, let's do it. I'm going to take you through this. I got a few steps. I want to hear your thoughts. Come on, let's go. Step one, we have to figure out a way to select a game. Now, having that physical console helps, right? We mentioned that. There's many ways to get this one done, but you got to select a game. I'm a fan of the crate method. I will start with the physical. If I just don't know right off the bat a game I want to play, which if you do, great, you're feeling it, you have the time, let's seize upon it. We're going to play that game. You don't know what you're going to play though. All these methods are coming into play. Consider the crate method. I was going to pick up a large crate of games that's next to me. However, I do have a cat that's in my lap right now. And I don't think it's possible. And I would probably hurt probably both of us, honestly, if I did that at this point. But I do have a few games at hand. So sadly, this demonstration is a little bit limited. But yeah, the crate method, okay? You have a crate full of some games you want to play, all right? If you haven't even been able to narrow it down, reach into that crate, pull out 3 games. Your ass is going to play one of those games. This is kind of a last case scenario here. You don't know what you're doing, right? You really can't decide. You couldn't even bring it down to 3 games out of your whole collection or whatever. You're pulling it out of the crate. You got to do something. You got to get it rolling. Pull 3 out. You're going to play one of them. You got to, okay? Now, obviously, that's last-ditch effort there to play a game. Hopefully, you can narrow it down to a few games. Still, you got to pick something, you know? And if you're having trouble, do whatever you got to do. Grab that game and just run with it, okay? All right. So once again, yeah, select a game. Whatever works for you, right? Just get the game. Once the game is selected, you gotta set the mood, baby. All right? You gotta set the mood. You're gonna take some time to get a setting that works for you, something that can help you get that spark going, right? Get you reconnected to this game. We're gonna set the mood, and it's worth a little bit of thought here. Okay? We're doing something a little bit different than what we normally do. That's the key. We don't have to do anything expensive. We don't have to go too above and beyond. But there's a little something extra being done here, right? Start with that, okay? Set the mood. As part of setting the mood, we got to eliminate distractions. You don't have to throw your phone into a body of water, but let's get it out of the picture at least, okay? We'll take it to the other room, maybe, whatever you have to do. If you're able at that point to not have your phone on you, do what you can to get it away from you, okay? Yeah. If you need it, of course you need it. But do what you can to eliminate distractions, the phone being one of which. I say also, with the music, we want to hear this game. You're going to want to hear this game too, so keep that in mind. Music's okay for now. It can help set the mood. But when we get into the game, we're going to want to hear that game. Another part of setting the mood, right? Creating that mood. You got to clean your space. Okay, if your space is looking a little something like this, again, you don't have to do a whole lot. Do a little something, and you will feel better, right? Make the bed, put away a couple things. I like to call it like the quick pickup. It's almost like you just play a dumb game with yourself for 5 minutes, where you're going to sort of like, without going around and dropping anything, you're just going to be like, all right, I'm going to pick things up. Just a quick pickup. All right. Boom. 5 minutes. And it's like, again, come on, you're cleaning things up. You got this. Give it the quick pickup, guys. Clean your space to whatever level you want to, but set the mood, man. Got to set the mood. Consider changing up the lights. All right. Maybe you want a candle. Maybe you got some cool LED stuff. Nothing too oppressive. Okay, we're wanting more on the lines of warm, but yeah, consider changing up the lights. Okay. Now, if you're a person that can stand scents and smells, you might want to switch that up. Okay. That's huge, right? And memory is really tied to scent. If you're able to handle it, again, maybe that candle's scented. Maybe do something like some incense, well, whatever you like, right? Switch up those smells. We're going to get reconnected to this game. Taking our time, we're setting the mood. That last one, I like it myself, but I'm a guy with allergies too, so I gotta go easy. But and sometimes having that little extra thing in there, that can just kind of creates that mood. Whew. All right. Step 3. This is important here, guys. Don't rush the before play. All right? Don't rush the before play. We're going to take our time with this. This part is important to connecting, because some of what could be happening is that you are quickly going into whatever game it is that you're hung up on. If you're one of those that's burned out, you find yourself, before you're even realizing it, logging back into that game, getting back in, and it's driving you nuts, right? I'm telling you, like, some of that is just you have these neural connections that are just very difficult to break right now. You're in the habit of going and clicking that icon, opening that up, whatever it is. Especially with the physical media, right? If you can, don't rush the before play. If you're going all virtual, see what you can find online in terms of like maybe a PDF scan of an instruction manual, if there is one. Maybe find some official art. That's kind of hard mode if you're not doing the physical media, but you got this. Don't rush the before play, okay? A few tips for you, right? Yeah, take notes. This is just what's worked for me as well. I can only say this is just the Parvination method, but it's only for me, but it's worked for me, and I think some of this is universal. Be curious to hear your thoughts. Now, all right. part of not forgetting the before play, you got to behold the box.
It's okay for...
Right? You got to behold the box. Right? If you have a box, this is when having that Final Fantasy VI box would have been awesome, but I have a cat in my lap. I won't do it. Darn. But if you got a box, pick up that box, right? Okay? Take your time on it. Really take it in. Be deliberate with this. Okay? Look at the art on the side. That's usually pretty fun. Where does it say, like, where are the copyrights? Where does it say it was manufactured? Have some fun with it. I mean, of course, we've got like an amazing box here, you know, and a very expensive one at this point. For sure, but yeah, whatever you got. If you got a box, behold it. Behold the box. If there's a manual, really meditate on that manual, okay? This was from a game called Otoki, kind of an interesting, game where you're sort of like it's a combination of kind of a cute 'em up and a music generation, like generative music game. It's very interesting. And look at this manual. Some official art here. Some, basically they're giving you some transparent, you've got the sprites right here, ready to go with all their names. Beautiful stuff. Meditate on that manual, right? Feel the pages. At this point, think 5 senses here, all right? We might not be using them all, but think 5 senses. Okay? Feel those pages, right? If it's an older manual too, maybe you got a little whiff of that, right? That old sort of like musty wood, that pulpy smell. It's the good stuff, right? Just take your time with it, right? Meditate on that manual. Okay? If there's a cart, right? Caress the cart. I won't demonstrate. This is for you. This is a private thing. Okay? And I have more respect for you and your process to reconnect with these games than to do that. But caress the cart. All right? What does it need? Does that card need anything? Read it. Can you read it? Is it in a fun other language? What's the year on the back say? Does it have a couple of years? Maybe one's the Japanese release, maybe one's the North American release. What is this cart gonna need? Okay. And don't be afraid of some tinkering, right? Don't be afraid to get some toys. Get in there, tinker with the toys. Okay? Don't worry about them. They're not your competition here. If the game doesn't play on its first go, you're not doing anything wrong, right? There's nothing wrong here, and it's nothing worth freaking out. We're gaming tonight, all right? It's cool. It's cool. The worst thing we can do right now is freak out, blow into the game, and then it still doesn't play. Now you've blown some dust further in. What's this thing gonna need, right? Don't be afraid of the toys. They're not your competition, okay? Just because you couldn't get that game playing with your way, it's okay. Don't be afraid to get a Q-tip if you need it. A little isopropyl alcohol, higher percentage the better, although I don't think you need like the stuff that's like basically nearly 100, but hey, 91's good. And then there's, think about the peripherals, right? The game genies, things like that, There's no cheating in this situation. What we're doing right here. This is part of the fun. It's not competition. All right? Don't be afraid to tinker with some toys. Have some fun with it. Go back to whenever it was that you first connected with these games. And for me, yeah, I'm seeing a game genie. I'm seeing some of those games with a game genie sticking inside of them. I think some of you guys are seeing that too, Ichigo couldn't even use his without it. Couldn't even function without that game genie in there, you know? Right? Okay. Yeah, you never know. You might like it. And step 4, this is the part where it gets for you to figure out, right? I can't help you as much through here other than to just say, we're going to play mindfully, all right? Remember to breathe. You're in this game, and that's all you're doing is you're playing the game. You're not on your phone. We're not on our phone right now. We're playing a game. You're not going to get up and like set some music. We're going to play the game. The game has music. We're going to take that in. We're going to breathe. We're going to remember to breathe, right? Take a moment to just focus on your breath. Deep breath in, deep breath out after a bit. Feel your feet on the ground, sort of get your surroundings. Point out 5 things around you that you see in your vision. Keep breathing. You're cool, you know? Remember to breathe. Take the game in. We're gaming right now. That's it. When we're gaming, we should be gaming. Communication is key, guys. You got to keep on communicating too. All right? When you're playing this game, feel free to talk to the text. Right? Talk with the game. Talk back to the game. Ask it questions. What? You know, whatever fits for you. Keep that conversation going. It's like when you're in elementary school and they talk about how you should be actively reading a text, and they'll show like a paragraph of text, and then they'll have like too good of handwriting for a kid's, you know, it's clearly just like a font, a cursive font or some shit, like a red cursive font of them like writing out their, oh, I wonder if his motives are unclear right now, or da-da-da, you know, like I'm starting to suspect something, like writing their inner monologue as they read. Anyway, that's what we're doing here, okay? Don't be afraid to engage with the text. If something comes out right, say it, you know, but talk. Keep on communicating. And of course, communicating isn't talking, something I could learn right now. It's a lot of listening and communicating. It's the most important part. All right. So listen. Pay attention to the game, but it's a back and forth, baby. Keep that conversation going, right?
It's okay
Allow
for
yourself
macho
to
men to show every emotion available right there, you know, because I've cried 1,000 times, I'm gonna cry some more.
Allow yourself to emote. I knew I was gonna forget that sound trigger. Allow yourself to emote, okay? To emote. To emote.
Cup of coffee, man, yeah.
Thanks, Macho Man. Allow yourself to emote, folks. Have emotions. Allow yourself to get pissed if you need to. You know, hopefully you're in a space where you can do that. You know, don't break anything. Be gentle. Right? Cry if the game really gets your goat. Okay? Don't be afraid of it, right? If it starts to happen, it's cool. Maybe you need it. You know? Be vulnerable. You got this. Allow yourself to get into it. Okay? And don't dwell on it either. I would say don't beat yourself up, but that's great, Sid. Yeah, don't dwell on it. Yeah. You don't have to dwell on those emotions, but yeah. Just understand that we all have them. And I think that this one is especially for that gamer who is just burned out, you know? Like yeah, that one that's been playing a couple of games, the same games over and over again, and now they're doing something different. They're reconnecting. You know, let it happen. You know, let it happen. Yeah. And last step, guys, last step here, integrate your experience. Step 5, you've got to integrate your experience. Okay, now what does that mean? That means after this, how are you going to take that, what happened in that moment, right? That reconnection, that rekindling. Because there's a lot I didn't say, there's a little bit of a dot dot dot, right? The old so and so profit, you know, because that's up to you in the game. That's none of my business. But after this, how do you integrate your experience? Okay. Remember to give yourself a moment. Okay. Let yourself have a little moment, whatever that moment is. You know, you just finished the game, you're feeling good, right? Have that moment, you know, feel what it is to feel alive, to have just done something that brings you fulfillment and happiness in a world that can be really tough and has just worn you down. And you had a moment that kind of made you reconnect with everything once again, and to realize that you're a part of something so much bigger than you, and we don't matter at all, yet we matter so much, and every single thing is connected. It's all meaningless, yet of the utmost importance, and just as important. Give yourself that moment, right? Sit in it. Enjoy that tapestry of gaming you just got yourself woven back into, all right? Whew. If you need some quiet reflection, do it, right? Have that quiet reflection, have that self-care. Okay? Write about it. Doodle about it. Journal. Maybe you got some hot fan fiction you're just ready to bust out. You know, whatever it is. Maybe you want to tell a friend. You know, you want to text a friend that like, hey, it happened for the first time in a long time, dude, and I fucking needed that, man. I needed that. Whoo, you know? But if you need the quiet reflection, let it happen. Okay. And allow yourself to think about the next time, too, you know? Don't, without rumination, or without just total obsession, you know, allow yourself to, you know, kind of like sort of think about it sometimes. Don't let it take up too much space, but yeah, let yourself get excited about it, you know? Anticipate that next great experience you're going to have. And, yeah. You know? Again, maybe you got to check back in with that crate. And crate of games, see what's up. But stay happy, stay positive, stay optimistic. And that kind of, there's, in a way, we're just, I don't want to say psyching ourselves up or out. It's just, there's something to that, right? You know, like trying to purposefully pull yourself out of the shit. And the way that you can sometimes manifest an interest in something. But you got to start by rekindling that flame first, doing all of what we've just been talking about. I lost my way somewhere, but come on, it made sense along the way, right? Allow yourself to think about that next time, you know? And anyway, all that is to say, if you're in this person's shoes, or the next time you get in there, just think about some of this, right? Take your time, right? There's no rush. We're not going to rush this, okay? It's going to be right. You'll know that it's right. And communication is key. I'm just going to keep repeating the same points because, damn, guys, I feel for you, man. I'm not currently in that kind of funk, but for those who are, and those of us who've been through it, yeah, I know what's up. It sucks. Let's see if we can get some sparks kicking off in the game room once again, all right? From gamer to gamer, guys. That was Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna take just a short break. Take a second and recollect myself here. Whew. It was nice, Sid. I want to thank you guys for joining me for this. You know, gaming is what's brought us all together here. And when you're not feeling it, something's got to change. There's got to be some reconnection. People say break, but I think that there's something to be said for the mindful, slow approach. I don't know. Get reconnected to what it is to be a gamer. Take that slower approach. Give it a shot, you know? I think it's a more lasting passion, love, cry over here, too. Damn, man. All right, guys. Ugh. I think I need a moment to integrate this experience as well, Ichigo. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Let me take just a couple minutes. See you soon. This is Gamer News for Friday, April 5th.